show now, and you're going to like it.
I'm going to convince my uncle, who's the big Bond fan, that Eon Entertainment just announced that they're doing a movie that brings all the Bonds back into fight all the different versions of Blofeld.
See what he says.
See if I can get him to believe it.
See if you can get him to be upset about it.
Yeah. Oh, he will be if he believes it. That's the thing. If I can get him to believe it, he will be pissed.
He's got a Blofeld vibe about him. Not that he's evil, but
my uncle.
Yeah, a little bit. If I pictured him in a chair, put him in a white suit, a chair, and a cat, you could pull it off. Yeah. You could pull it off. That's all I'm saying.
Give him one of those what is it? The Nehru jacket. That was the style. Was the Nehru jacket.
It was the style of the time. All right. I don't think I've ever worn a Nehru jacket, but
I know I want a Nehru jacket.
I would wear one. Yeah, hell yeah. Vegas people, bring one. 2 of them.
Please, extra large. Bring me a Nehru jacket.
Yeah, XL.
Looks like you can't get them on Amazon for less than $250. Darn it.
Temu, where are you at, Temu? All right.
Temu Nehru jacket.
Here comes the fun, everyone. The fun. Well, that was fun, but here comes more fun.
That was fun. Mm-hmm.
In 3, 2, 1. Whoops.
Wow, look at that. Look at this perfect sliced butter. Wow. That's so beautiful. Would you look at that?
Just come for a ride with me in my mobile command unit.
The morning stream. Prepare the virgin. I don't like the sound of that.
Well. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to TMS for December 4th, 2024. This is Scott. That is Brian. Hi, Brian.
Good morning, Scott.
Hey.
It's a brand new day here at TMS.
That's right. Industries. You guys missed out. We did 23-minute long pre-show today, and it went places. You guys need to go.
It went places. We talked about James Bond killing Blofeld.
Yeah.
We talked about lakes and why some lakes have a lake before and after the name.
Yep.
We talked about nudie 3D sculptures.
Yeah, sculptions.
Sculpture artists.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, you're missing out. If you don't get the Patreon and you're not hearing our pre-shows or you're not showing up for the live stream, you are missing out.
You are. You're almost. It's like you're missing an extra show or two every week with all the great content that we put out.
Yeah. So sign up now. We have other reasons later in the show to tell you about to sign up as well. But watch for that. I have a big recommendation to start the show off with today before we get to all our fun business today, including Tadpooly Feud. We got that coming up. We got Tom. We got Recommentals, all that stuff. Big Wednesday planned for you. I got a recommendation. So there was a sale at the Costco, down to the Costco. And the sale was on mini fridges. Specifically,
brave man going to Costco during the holidays.
It's not a great time in there in the holidays.
Yeah,
they're wonderful employees. They all treat you like kings. There's no issues with Costco itself, but the Throngs decide that this is the time of year they want to pack that place, and it's kind of annoying. But they have this really good sale on mini fridges that are a little bit taller, not too much, but like it's definitely, if you looked at it next to a regular like office mini fridge, you might go, oh, that's a little bigger, and it's bigger usually in the height for some reason. I don't know.
I've got one of those. It's like they call it a college dorm fridge. It's taller than one of those like little fridges.
Ah, right. So you know exactly. You probably have the exact sort of same thing. Yeah,
I might actually, because I bet I did get it.
Yeah. It's what the college kids like it because they like they put the beer in there. You know.
Yeah, like it's enough to fit half a box of pizza. You have to cut the box and fold one side of the box to store the pizza.
Right.
But it's enough for that.
Yeah. We've all been through that.
We've done that.
So she grabs it because it was super on sale. It was a good brand. I don't remember the brand. And she brings it home. She goes, guess what I did? And I said, what's that? She goes, I got us a kimchi fridge. And I went, I'm sorry, what? We have a fridge. It's got kimchi in it. What are you talking about? She says, I got a fridge to go in the garage that is, its entire job will be you put sodas and other stuff in there, lots of room and little shelves and everything.
Sure.
But its main good job is to hold kimchi, daikon, pickled cabbage of any sort, pickled everything, pickled carrots, all the pickled stuff is going in there, in particular the kimchi and the daikon, because they stink so bad.
Yeah.
That as much as we love them, we don't necessarily want to open the fridge and go, "Pah!" It's like my brother's breathing on me every time I open it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which seems like, oh great. So if we put some Cokes or something in there, the lid is going to smell like before after you go and you open the top, you take a drink every time.
Yeah.
You'd have to pour that into a separate glass.
Yeah, because the can will have it on it, right? Kind of.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
And so that was the whole idea with this thing. And you know what? It's actually freaking great because when I need kimchi, so it doesn't hold this giant one I get at H Mart. I get this big kimchi bottle. It lasts me like a month or more.
Sure.
So when I get that big thing, I break it down into like 5 smaller jars.
Containers. You can take like a shelf out of the new kimchi fridge and have that jar fit. I guess if you do that, then you can put less stuff in the.
That's a good point, though. I'll have to go look because it's possible I could still keep as much stuff in there and still remove a shelf. They're glass shelves too, which make me nervous because I'm just nervous. I'm gonna. Break some. Oh, speaking of which, you know how we just talked about phone cases and you were like, I gotta have one for my phone. And I was like, I like the naked.
Do to your phone?
All right, I did a thing that I don't think the case would have helped with. And I can't show it because it's really subtle. It's gonna drive me crazy though. But anyway, so this is what happens. I'm in the kitchen. I have a bottle opener. I'm using it on something. I don't know what it was. And this is laying on the table face up, my phone.
Yeah.
No problem. It's all good. It's just laying there. I'm not touching it. It's nowhere near the edge or anything like that.
Sure.
I'm using the bottle opener. My hand slips. This thing ricochets off the table, flies across the room, and the little tip, the sharp end that you use to pop a can?
Yeah.
Or whatever those are for? Oh, is it for cookie dough thing? Is that what that's for? What is that for?
It's for
because there's 2 ends, right? Pokey end and then a roundy end.
It's for like when you had a can that you had to go ka-chunk and then ka-chunk on the opposite side, like hooking in the little point in there, so you create an opening, a hole that where air comes in, and another hole where your goo comes out. Like old cans of oil before they had plastic bottles. You screw the cap off.
Or like it's not sour milk. What's
Any
it called?
sort of sauce. Yeah, condensed milk.
Condensed milk. That's what I remember my mom doing. That's it.
You'd open the can like that, and you just basically put a little triangular hole in both sides, and then goo comes out, air goes in.
Okay, so that end, the little tippy end,
the pointy, the business end of that.
Yeah, this thing goes like perfect shot. I couldn't have aimed it better. I would have missed if I tried to aim it. This thing goes kind of in slow motion, and it just goes. Kink, kink, makes kind of a skipping sound on top of my phone. And I went, and so I went and got it and looked at it. And I've got these 2 lines. It starts here.
Like it slid across.
Yeah. Does a little, about a half, not quite a half inch. Maybe not, just shived a half inch, tiny little hairline. And then a space of nothing, no problem. And then another hairline exactly in line with the other one where it went tink, tink. And left a line there that is about a half an inch long. It's not a crack. It's not a break or any of that. It's just this hairline scratch. And a case wouldn't have solved it for me in this case. I guess a screen protector would have, but I freaking hate those. I hate those.
I do too. Yeah, I feel like those always decrease the sensitivity of your sounds like a sex thing, but they reduce the sensitivity of your screen and your touch. Like if you're gaming and stuff, they screw things up.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I just feel like we talked about it and it happened. It's like these celebrities that die. We talk about them and it happens.
I know. That's exactly what I was gonna say is that we just did to your phone what we usually do to folks like Ernest Borgnine and Burgess Meredith.
Yeah, my wife's like, I told you to get a case. I'm like, in this case, it didn't matter. The case isn't the problem. But now I'm like so ginger. I'm like, walking around,
Yeah.
Nobody have any sharp objects anywhere. Nobody drop a thing.
Well, sure. Now your phone is scored, so if you accidentally, you can break it in half accidentally. Now that it's got a score in it.
It is like a scoring. I don't like
a
that.
Sheet of plexiglass.
I don't like it. It's like having scored paper. It's gonna tear there.
Yeah.
It won't, but I feel like it now.
It won't. Yeah, but it is. It's exactly. It'll bend really easy.
Anyway, so 2 things. Big recommend on the kimchi fridge. No recommendation on scratching your phone. Don't do that.
Big recommend on maybe a screen protector now. That
yeah.
Maybe I wonder if you could. Number one, people are saying that your Apple warranty probably is still in effect on that one. It's that new that you could probably.
It is that new, dude. I didn't know if they'd cover that kind of stuff though. Will they?
Act of God. I don't know.
It does feel like an act of God.
World,
it does.
can opener.
A vengeful God, an act of a vengeful God.
That's right. You didn't say it was that God. I think it might have been like Hades or.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in there and go. The God of Chaos did this.
It's the God that I think Jeremy Irons voiced in Hercules. Or who's the voice? Who's the?
Oh no, it was
Hades. James Woods.
Kind of a dick now, but I love him in that movie. He's so good in it.
Yeah.
You know what makes it
anyway,
harder when someone's a dick now is how great they were in things. It makes it so much harder.
I know. Case in point, Baby Driver, right?
Yeah,
it's like
it's another good example. Yeah. Well, the good news on that movie is his part's kind of small.
He's barely in it, and
yeah,
plays a dick.
Yeah, he does play a dick. You're right.
Does end up playing dick. So where was I going with that? I was going somewhere with that. Yeah. So that's one option to see if Apple will cover it. Second option is sometimes those kiosks in the mall have like a little. Oh no, that wouldn't work for this because a buffing tool would.
Oh, to like go in and fill it.
Yeah, but I don't think you can use a buffing tool on the glass on phones. I think because it's tempered glass, and I don't think it buffs.
Oh, maybe it would just it'd do the opposite. It would look like crap.
It would scrape. Yeah, it would discolor. It would scratch it up to the point where it's cloudy in those parts.
It's just so subtle that you really aren't going to notice it, except light will hit it the right way, and I just go, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had that with my last phone, and it was awesome. When I took it to T-Mobile, they're like, "Oh, yeah, it's a little tiny chip. That's not a big deal. We'll
Yeah, they know how this wear and tear goes, but
they know exactly that falls under regular wear and tear.
But I'd love to not have it a month and a half after getting it.
Yeah, I know.
I'd like to have it next year, like 2 weeks before I have to turn it in. How about that?
Yeah.
Anyway, another quick thing. Got a text from a listener. This is about the 600-year-old Bible I touched.
Oh, yeah.
He says, just think, 600 years from now at a bookstore in the vicinity of Jupiter, an old rare art book by Scott Johnson is on display, and you have pages cut out and framed if you like. Crazy to think it's possible, but it is. No,
there you go.
No, yeah. Jupiter. Jupiter's you'd think Jupiter's the long shot.
I like that you were thinking, oh, listen to how humble Scott is. So cool. It's like, oh no, Jupiter's the question. Jupiter's the big asterisk.
No, honestly.
Oh no, you guys are silly. It won't be Jupiter.
I'm saying as long a shot as Jupiter is, it's even longer shot that anything of mine would be in a place where they sell you pages. That's not going to happen.
Gotcha.
It's just not going to happen. All right.
Yeah.
Don't plan on it. Nobody write anything down. That ain't going to happen. But there will be something, I'm sure. 600 years from now, there'll be something we do.
It'll be 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a 600-year-old copy of 50 Shades of Grey.
So
some of the pages are a little stuck together, but the rest of them are great if you'd like to have them framed.
We call it a rescue, so you can take pages out of it.
Welcome to Jupiter. Would you like a Slurpee?
I think
the only food in the world is Slurpees.
They're gonna undig stuff like this. They're gonna find this old Game Gear and go, oh, what a relic of a different time.
Yeah, I'm kidding. That actually took 6 battery units.
Yeah, remember those?
Remember when they used old battery units?
Yeah. You mean we were playing video games not with our minds? Yeah, that was the style at the time.
Look, buttons.
Yeah.
Oh, how quaint.
Yeah. I mean, imagine how fun that would be to find shit like that, though.
Oh, totally.
But you need society to kind of crash and burn for these to be interesting, because otherwise everyone just knows what they are. If we have a continuous historical record on the internet, 600 years from now, if all things stay sort of normal, that'll just be a thing we already know about, and it'll still be a cool thing to collect. What I want is people to discover it and go, what were they doing with this? This this strange enclosed Sonic 2 Hedgehog? What is this?
Yeah.
And for that to happen, you need like a complete wipe of humanity and a start over, So
and sadly, AI will be the thing that people are like, oh, I know exactly what that is. That is a Game Gear cartridge from the year 1987.
Yep. Beep, boop, beep.
Or 94 or whatever.
Yeah, that's how it'll have to go. We'll have to see how it plans out. Guys, you want to play a game? I know you do. One of you is going to be our fourth caller today and be pulled into today's discussion. First, though, we have to add Dunaway to the call.
We do. It's a requirement. Got to have
Yeah, if we don't have Dunaway, what are we doing?
Brian Dunaway.
I don't even want to play if he's not here. Joining us now, we have one Brian Dunaway who will join us and play this little game we're going to play. Hi, Brian Dunaway. Are you one Brian Dunaway?
No, I am one Brian Dunaway. Oh, hi, Scott and Brian.
Oh, you sound
hello.
so much better than you did.
You do. Yeah.
I feel so much better.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Love your health. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about it. It was like, this was the most depressing sick I've been in a while because anytime you visit 2 Mondays in a row and both Mondays are sick, you're like, is the second Monday's like, is this life? Is this life now?
Yeah.
Is every Monday going to be this?
Yeah. I mean, you have to wonder, right? You have to wonder if this is it. This is going to be it. Speaking of which, is this going to be it for our lucky caller who is fourth today? Let's find out if Rebel Scum is there.
Ooh, Rebel Scum.
We're ringing Rebel Scum.
Rebel Scum, please come to a white page and telephone.
Hi,
Rebel Scum.
is this Rebel Scum? It must be because of your logo. I assume it is. Yeah. Oh, hi. Hi, where do you hail from, Rebel Scum?
Calgary.
Oh,
Calgary.
nice.
I'm looking straight up at you. How you doing?
yeah, look at you in the Mountain
how you
Time
guys
Zone.
doing?
Yeah, Mountain Time Zone. You got the Flames.
That's right.
You got
Yeah,
like
they won
The
yesterday.
Roughnecks. The
Yeah,
Roughnecks.
That's right. How have they had the opportunity, the honor, really, to play the Utah Hockey Club yet?
Yeah, earlier in the season they did, and you guys smoked us.
Oh, we did. Shit,
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't been paying attention. I did not know we won any games yet.
That's the
So,
worst.
Wow.
They're only worth paying attention to when they have their name.
yeah, that's true.
In the new year.
That's right.
That is how it
exactly.
feels. It is how it feels.
Yeah.
Well, go Flames while you're on the show anyway. It's good to have you here. Brian, you're going to explain these here rules to everybody and how we're playing and who we're playing for and how that goes.
I will. It's time to play the Tadpooly Feud. I've surveyed the tadpole on some nerdy topics. Scott and Brian, you have to predict the answers that they gave us. It is Scott and Brian's job to see how many of those answers they can guess. Rebel Scum, your job is more important than ever because you're going to be working with either Scott or Brian, and if your team wins, you get a prize package that includes Cassette Beasts and Karma Zoo.
Oh, Cassette Beast is such a good, like, Pokemon-like. It's so good.
Really?
it's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
fantastic game. Really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Awesome. By the way, Brian, have you watched Jaw Stew yet? Have you watched Jaw?
I have not. What do you mean, like, in the last 6 months? No. Have I watched Jaws 2? Plenty of times, sure. I wouldn't meant to watch it. I could really just wing it. But yes, it's leaving soon, right? Film Sacks.
It's leaving soon. That's why I brought it up. Is just a little quick reminder to watch Jaws 2 before it leaves at
wait.
the end of this month.
What's the...
End of this month, but we're doing it this weekend. I think
I know
we got
we're
it
doing
covered.
this weekend, yeah, but who knows when people don't always listen to Film Sack day and date. So
It's more of an education for the listeners and less about me.
That's
I got
right.
you.
Way less
Less
about you. Yeah.
Exactly.
I got you.
So that's currently
By the way-
on Netflix and it's leaving in a month?
On
Okay.
Netflix, yeah.
All right.
And before I looked it up today, I always thought Jaws 2 was Jaws the Revenge, but apparently it's not. It's Jaws 4.
No,
was
it's
Jaws the
this
Revenge.
is Baby Jaws, right?
Is it?
Oh, don't give anything away.
I don't know anything about it. I've never seen
I'll
2.
tell you
I've
what,
seen
it's-
one
it's
1,000
not-
times.
It's
and
in 2D. I'll give you that. How's
It's in
that?
2D. Good. Excellent.
Who directed this?
Uh,
Oh, it's not... Spielberg didn't do the second one? I thought he did.
No. I don't
Oh.
think so.
He ain't got time for that.
Shit. All right. Roy
He's like, I
Scheider.
don't even want to do another one of these. And he's like, all right, fine.
The mayor's back. Murray Hamilton as Mayor Larry Vaughn. He comes back. He's a dick still.
right.
Anyway. All right. Well, let's
All
do
right,
this
okay.
thing.
Anyway, that has nothing to do with with Tadpooly Feud, but I was like, I got to mention it just in case.
Jaws.
Sure.
All right. Name a shark. Just kidding. Put your hands on your buzzers and give me your best answer to this. Name a performer who is known as a nerd or geek icon. Scott.
Shit. Mark Hamill. 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 Mark Hamill.
All right. Show me Mark Hamill. Oops.
Oh!
Yeah. Mark Hamill.
Are you kidding?
He's...
Good Lord.
He was on the list. Where was he? There, number 15 is Mark Hamill.
Damn, dude.
Still 10 available answers on the board. Brian, name a guy, performer.
Why's it got to be? It's
Doesn't have to be a guy. Doesn't
if
have to
you
be a
could
guy.
just,
Name a performer who is known as a nerd or geek icon. I was closing the tab that shows
Right.
me what the
So the
other number
the
answers-
question usually shows up on the screen. I don't see it. I was trying to. Okay, so let me listen to you this time.
Yeah, you
okay,
don't
the
get it.
words you're saying.
Oh, I can
Well,
say
let me say the whole thing. I'll say the whole thing
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
Name a performer who is known as a nerd/geek icon.
That's such a tricky question. You mean the character or the person? I
A
don't know.
performer. A performer.
Yeah,
Right.
That's the person.
Yeah.
I don't know. How about let's go with Patton Oswalt. He's always doing.
Yeah,
he's
that's a good
doing.
one.
He's always a nerd, but he's a
Sure.
comedian.
It's a good one.
Show me.
I hope that's what
Patton-
you're asking for.
Show me Patton Oswalt.
good
Yeah, number 6 point. Number 6 on the board. 6 points.
Number 6 point.
Number 6
Number
points.
6 point.
Sculptions. Lots of sculptions for 6 points.
I think the performers was getting me. I'm like, do you mean actor?
Yeah.
Do you mean a musician?
Any of that, because I I wanted to open it up to like a performer, somebody
Who performs?
maybe not as wide as a celebrity, but a performer.
Yeah.
Right, because then I was thinking about maybe you mean they're nerdy about their particular profession, because
Sure.
I think of some people like that too. All
Could-
right,
it
whatever.
could have been one of those tassel nuns on down in Vegas walking
Yeah,
down the
what you
strip.
said.
Right. She's
Yeah.
known as she's a performer. Just gotta stay in your circle. Stay in your circle,
Yeah.
Booby Nun.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Rebel Scum has a better handle on this, because Mark Hamill,
I
I
sure
would have
hope
thought
so.
that would have been right on spot, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like
Weird.
we could start with one of the hotter ones and go Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
He's
Yeah,
usually nerdy.
He is
He's
hot.
nerdy. Oh, that makes me think of somebody else who's just as hot. Yeah, okay. All right. Do it.
All right. Show me Nathan Fillion.
Oh,
Unbelievably, Nathan Fillion, number 12. So almost the guess again answer.
Okay.
Man.
Now we're getting weird because I'm shocked
Now
by
we're
all these.
getting
I'm shocked none of
Yeah.
these two.
I
didn't
know.
make it.
But Hamill and Fillion should have been higher. I agree.
We're heading in the wrong direction, I think, is the problem. It's
Nerd icon. Okay, I'm gonna go with Henry Cavill is a
there you
huge,
go. That
huge
he's super
nerd.
sexy and he's super nerdy. Loves video games.
Yeah, builds
Come
his own
on, Henry Cavill,
PCs.
number one.
Almost missed the casting call for Superman because he was rating and wow, like the guy's a huge
right.
nerd.
Yeah. D&D. All right. Show me Henry. What's my mustache doing there? Cavill.
Oh,
There you
Number one answer
There
on
you
the
go.
board.
Right,
111 of you people said Henry
go.
Cavill.
Wow, good job.
I'm a little surprised by this.
Yeah.
Okay, now
He's
that
a
I
huge freaking nerd.
Nerds.
He is a nerd. All right. So if he's number one, this is put me into the thinking of who else is there. How about Will Wheaton?
Yeah, Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton.
Yeah.
That's what I almost went with first.
Show me Get Off the Bridge, Wesley.
Watch that.
Number 2 answer on the board. Yep.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, so we're in the right vein here.
You're in the right. You're in the right. You're figuring this game out.
Mhm.
Okay, let's go with. I've heard this about her. I'm a little nervous. It's gonna be dude centric though. Shit. All right.
I know, because he said at the beginning, he's like, he.
Let's do. Well, I'll stay
Him.
with the he's for a minute because I just want to. Not that I
Okay.
want to. I would like to clear the board and have our contestant win. Go Flames.
I'll tell you that don't be afraid. The board does contain men and women.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, let's go with Kevin Smith anyway.
There you go.
Kevin
Comic
Smith.
book guy.
Yeah.
Show me Kevin Smith. Number 7. Oops,
Ooh.
gave
Nice.
you the wrong points. There we go.
Nice.
7 points for Scott, who's got 10 points now to Brian and Rebel Scum 6.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Rebel
Um,
Scum. I wish I knew more nerds.
Yeah, this is a tricky one.
Snoop Dogg. Snoopy Poopy Poop
Oh,
Dog.
Snoopy Poopy Dog?
Yeah.
Sure. Show me Snoop Dogg.
Please.
That's the closest I can do.
Oh, but he's pretty good at that.
Show me Snizzle Rizzle.
I mean, he streams video games. He's a Game of Thrones freak. Like he's a nerd. He's a nerd.
No, it's a valid guess. I don't even know if anybody. Let's see if Snoop Dogg even made. Because I will tell you, the full list has 112 people on it, and I don't see Snoop Dogg on this list at all.
How many? 100. How many?
112 different names people gave me.
It's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rebel Scum, this is getting tough. You got something on the top of your head there? Or?
I don't know. If
have
you got
one.
something, go.
All right. Well, I was trying to go through all the, if you kind of step your feet into the Star Trek world, you're kind of automatically either you're jonesing to be a nerd, but Simon Pegg I think is,
Oh,
is
yeah.
he's a good nerd.
That's
He's
a good one.
nerd.
He is a good nerd.
Okay. All right. Show me Simon Pegg.
Oh, come on.
I know. Simon Pegg, number 13. Yeah. Just with an Ethan Fillion just outside of the top 11.
All right. Well, since it's
Sorry, Rebel Scum.
since it's about,
We're just edging the board here.
aren't you though?
Edge of the board.
I learned what that meant on Core one night.
Edging the board.
Yeah. Vin Diesel, I'll say.
That's a good one.
He was a big
right.
D&D guy or something like that. I think.
Sure. Show me Vin number Diesel.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
so
shit.
If you're kind of they're not really all that sexy. There's about half and half here. All right, good. All right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Listen, I would say everybody on this list is sexy because they are a nerd or geek icon.
But do they know it?
They're sexy and
Yeah,
they know it.
it. Giving Scott 20 points to Brian and Rebel Scum's.
Come it.
You guys, you need to get some. We need a shift here if Rebel Scum is going to get to play some cassette monsters or whatever it's called.
Cassette monsters.
Isn't there I sound like I'm starting a Guitar Hero thing.
Isn't there I was going to say.
Is
Isn't
it
there a Diesel named Vin something?
what's her name from her dad just died. Jones, Quincy Jones's daughter, Rashida Jones, isn't she known for?
Rashida Jones. Yeah, she's pretty nerdy.
She's gonna be the girl I put on here. I want that.
Okay.
I like
All right.
her.
I want that.
Show me Rashida and from Parks and Recreation Jones.
Oh!
No, no Rashida Jones anywhere in the list. Weirdly enough, she's a great pick, but
she's vocal about her nerddom.
she is. Yeah.
Look at all this sausage party we got going here.
I know. 5 answers left on the board. One strike left for each of you. So we
Rebel
either
Scum,
need to clear in the board or we need some movement.
Rebel, we can talk it up because I mean we either going to get something here or we're going to lose regardless. So I'm thinking like Jim Parsons from Big Bang. People think of him as a nerd, but is it just in the role?
I don't know. I don't know.
What
What
do you think, Rebel Scum?
Yeah.
I was thinking redhead gal from
Yeah, say that.
that internet show.
Oh my
Felicia
God,
Day.
Felicia Day. Felicia Day.
Oh,
There you go.
Felicia
Yeah, Felicia Day's a good
freaking
one.
Day.
Yeah, Felicia freaking Day.
Shit.
All right. All right, let's see if Felicia Day is on the list.
Of course she is.
Felicia
Ah!
freaking Day.
Christmas Miracle. Yes.
Damn it.
Do you think they would have been?
That includes the female representation in the top 10.
So I know her, and I could send her a text and say, I want you to know that in the top 10 list of nerds, you're the only woman on here, and see what she thinks about that. She might actually, that's either going to be offensive or awesome that she's the only one.
I think
that
she'll
made it.
find it hilarious.
Yeah, it's, it's easily both. Yeah, it's easily both offensive and awesome.
Yeah.
It's hilarious in the fact this is what we live with.
I'm going to front that when we're done. That's funny.
I still can't get out of the sexy nerd. I think because
Want to finish that
like
sentence?
Terry Crews is another sexy nerd. There's a few that are just.
That's an amazing line. Terry Crews is another sexy nerd.
He's another sexy nerd, but is that what people think about? Oh, I don't know. How about? But Jim Parsons is another thing I thought of.
What about Brent
Robin
Spiner?
Williams was Brent Spiner's a good. Robin Williams was a big nerd when he was around. But I don't know if people think about that anymore. He used to play Quake and Zelda. He named his daughter Zelda. So I mean,
yeah, he was into it. I did, and Brian didn't say dead or living, or
Yeah, but people I think just don't think about it as much anymore. Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, which one did you say, Rebel Scum? What'd you think?
Brent Spiner.
Brent Spiner, excellent.
That's good. I like Brent Spiner.
He's such a data.
Yeah, let's do it. What do you think, Brian?
Are you saying it?
Yeah.
Lock it in. Are you locking it in, Brent Spiner?
I'm locking her in.
All right, show me Brent Spiner. Brent Spiner number. One person said Brent Spiner. It looks like. Is that right, or was it? Where is it? I know. You know what? Maybe Brent Spiner did not even make the list at all.
Oh, really?
Oh no, he did. Somebody just put data. Yeah, one person. So tied for 40th place.
I feel like a lot of people who play big nerds on TV, I think is going to be. Yeah, I think that's going to show up a lot here. on the rest of these.
I'm gonna stick with
Like Urkel
Well,
or
and
something.
I'm just gonna say, don't limit yourself to like people of the acting
Actors.
profession either.
Yeah.
So you think Scott Johnson's up there?
No,
How about Tom Merritt? You think Tom Merritt is up
He
there?
might
He's a
be.
performer.
He's a sexy nerd.
he's a sexy nerd. I'm gonna go with people
Right.
I've interviewed.
How about Brian?
I'm gonna say
Brian Brushwood. Do it.
no. I'm not putting Schwid on here.
Dunaway.
I'm going with. I may regret this. Let's go with Hodor, Christian Nairn. Guy's a huge nerd,
Okay. All right.
literally.
Show me Christian Hodor Nairn.
Hodor.
Yeah.
Damn it!
I tried to help. Christian Nairn tied for
Nairn.
40th place. One person said Christian Nairn. Man, this was a tough one, and kind of amazed. The chat room's been shouting. I think Redlings
really?
Redlings even guessed 3 of the names on this list.
Really?
Yeah, in the last post. Come on, number 3. I even said, don't think acting. Don't narrow it down to acting. Weird Al Yankovic, number 3.
Oh shit! I don't think
Yep.
of him. All right.
Number 5, somebody we've all met multiple times.
Jonathan
Joko.
Colton. Yeah, duh.
Mhm.
That's a good
Yep.
one. Oh my gosh! If they put what's his name on here, his frequent working partner, PC in the Mac and PC ads. What's his name? John Hodgman.
Hodgman.
Is Hodgman in
Oh
this?
yeah, Hodgman.
Hodgman is not in
Okay.
here.
Oh,
All right.
It's a good one though.
That is a good one. A lot of people were shouting this one and just questioning how the hell you spell it. Sexy nerd Joe Manganiello.
Oh, dang, another sexy nerd. I knew it.
I'm
Yep.
not sure I know who that is. Who is that?
He was married to Sofia Vergara, or still is.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think
Good
so
job.
is.
What is-
Yeah, and he's big into, like, he's a WoW player, and
Oh.
does
He was one
also
of the
do
Magic
D&D?
Mike guys too. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, he was, absolutely was, and I think he was on True Blood.
What's our fascination with nerds that are hot? It's like you don't have to be a nerd.
No,
hot.
there's no way getting
no
around
longer
it.
With, no longer with Sofia Vergara.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, he was up too late. Braden, I get it.
Yep,
Yeah.
he hosts massive D&D sessions, is what people say.
Okay.
Massive.
Oh, I
and finally,
recognize him now.
another-
I see his face. All right, cool.
Another name that came up a lot was Matt Mercer.
Oh, but yeah, of course.
Yep.
Did Liam
That
make
rounds
the
out
list
your-
at all? Liam O'Brien on there?
Well, let's talk about your 11 and higher. 11 was Jack Black. That would have given you an extra guess.
yeah.
Okay.
Jim Parsons actually was number 14, but wouldn't have helped you. MC Frontalot, Post Malone. Scott Johnson made the list at number
Yes.
18.
Boo.
William Shatner, Adam Savage, Mila Kunis, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Patrick Stewart, Rivers Cuomo, Robin Williams, Stephen Colbert, Bill Nye, Brian Ibbett, thank you, Chris Hardwick, John Barrowman, Keanu Reeves, Lady Gaga, LeVar Burton. If you haven't seen, by the way, LeVar Burton is host of a new game show based on Trivial Pursuit.
Oh, I've heard
and-
good things about that.
Mhm.
It's fun. It's a really fun game show to watch. And LeVar Burton
Oh,
really
Robert.
stresses every line.
Yeah, love it.
You've got one more guess on history to get
I
your
love
wedge.
it.
Yeah, he probably read it in a book. It was in a book that he read.
It's in a
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's great. It is awesome. Lindsay Sterling, MC Lars, Richard Ayude, Seth Green. They might be giants. They just put the two Johns right there together. How do you pick? Adam Baldwin, Aisha Tyler, Alan Tudyk, Beck, Ben Folds, Ben Starr, Bill Gates, Billie Eilish, Bob Cross, Bob Goldthwait, Bob Newhart.
No.
You can see we're getting into like
Bob, Bob, Bob.
the one vote people here.
Did anybody say Slash? For some reason, I
No,
always
nobody
feel like
said
Slash is a nerd.
Is
I don't
he?
know
Yeah,
why
no.
I get that impression, but
He reads.
that'd be great.
He shoves comics up under his hair that's in front of his eyes, and he reads them.
He's,
while
he's
playing.
got a full collection of the New 52 under there.
Yeah.
Brian Brushwood, Brian Cox, Bruce Campbell, Chris Metzen, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, David Byrne, David Tennant, Doug Jones, Dwight Schrute. That's a good Ed
Dwight
Sheeran, Eddie Deason. Wow. Elon Musk, Felicia Day. Oh, I said Felicia Day. Frank Sinatra, Frank Zappa.
Elon
Zappa.
Musk. Why?
Elon Musk. Yeah, I don't
He's
know.
a performer because he's a performer. Get it?
Have you seen
get
him?
the
Have
rub?
you seen him jump into his X shape?
Yeah,
that's
that's
really impressive.
Certainly not a performance. George Takei, Hugh Jackman, Ice-T, James McAvoy. There's John Hodgman, John Heater, Ken Jennings, Kevin Bacon, Kamal Nanjiani, Leonard Nimoy, Margot Robbie, Matthew Broderick. Oh my God, folks, we're just at the ends. Michael, Sarah, I'm going to go really quickly through the rest of this. Neil Patrick Harris, Olivia Munn, Rosario Dawson,
So
Ryan
what you're
Reynolds.
saying is no lack of nerds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nope. Stephen Hawking, Taylor Swift. I question that one. There's your Terry Crews, Thomas Dolby, Timothy Chalamet, Tom. Somebody's hoping with that one. Tom
No,
Crosby.
he's a huge nerd. Before he got
Is he?
famous, he had a channel about hacking Xbox 360
Oh, really?
stuff. Yeah.
Really?
His
Okay,
original
Timothy
username.
Chalamet.
It was like 360 hacker something username. He's like sort of famous for it. It's weird. He's a nerd.
Wow,
He's a huge
okay.
nerd. Yeah. Big time.
All right. Trey Anastasia from Fish and Zachary Levi.
Zachary Levi, everyone's favorite
Zachary Levi.
guy who's not really their favorite guy. All right.
That's right.
Well, the bummer of today is clear and present, like danger, and it's this. Our caller from Calgary has lost. Flame on, Johnny. Do you have anything to say about your loss today? Are you okay? Going to be all right?
Oh no, yeah, no, that was cool. I was really nervous about getting like a Marvel question or something.
Oh, sure, you're not a Marvel guy.
Yeah, those are always fun because I mean Brian usually knows most of the knowledge on Marvel stuff. I know enough to get in trouble. Dunaway doesn't know shit.
Yeah,
Marvel.
you're all DC all the time.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He likes Marvel. What? I joke. I kid. Well, anyway, it was great having you on, dude, and we'll hopefully get to have you on again sometime and see if we can't revive your chances of winning. Have a great time and enjoy your losing
Thanks,
season.
Rebel Scum.
Hey, Brian Dunaway, well done today. You've done it. You did it. And this Friday, we're going to finally get together and do a video game coverage on Play Retro. Can you tell the fine folks what it was again that we were covering?
Absolutely. We were going to play Medieval last week on the PlayStation. We didn't make it, so we're doing it this week because I was sick last week. So I had an extra week to play it, which is good because it's a fantastic game.
Yeah,
I love it.
They need to do a proper remake, not that weird controversial one they did.
Yeah, and a couple years ago, 2019 or so, they made a remake. People thought it was meh.
Mhm.
But I never played it when it came out, and I don't remember too many people really like just going like I'm the biggest fan ever. But I'll tell you, after this past week, I can't wait to play some more.
It's fun. And I've been in it put me in a 3D platformer mood, and that's kind of all I've been playing this week. So
right, I like to all kinds of hack and slash. Wasn't there like a game a couple years ago? It was like Pumpkin something that was similar.
I just
to
played
it
it last night. It's called Pumpkin Jack, and it was
Pumpkin
originally
Jack.
released as a Halloween release. It's really good. Like I don't buy it just on Halloween, people. It's on sale right now. It's in the autumn sale on Steam. That game's great any time of the year. It's very good. It's like one of those. It is very similar to that game.
Very similar.
We'll talk about
If you
that
like
too. I'm
Nightmare
sure.
Before Christmas, that's where they got a lot of the inspiration from for
wow.
Medieval.
Mhm.
If you like that and just hacking and slashing
yeah,
away,
true.
which I do,
I like that. I like that.
silly
too.
humor,
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
yeah, it's good stuff. Check it out. Hey, Brian Dunaway, kiss our butts.
No, you.
Woo! Okay, there he goes.
Ooh, butts kissed.
We're going to take a break. When we come back from said break, we'll have Tom Merritt here. We'll have some Recommentals. We'll have all kinds of fun. But Brian has to play a song first. So, Brian, what are you playing?
Yes, boy. You know I'm a lyrics guy, Scott, and this song I'm about to play for you here has some fantastic lyrics. A lot of fun. This is a song by Delivery called "The New Alphabet," and you'll need to hear why why the band from Melbourne here is developing a new alphabet, and it's a very funny story. The new album is called Force Majeure, and it comes out January 17th via Heavenly. These guys have like a the new apples in stereo. Oh, what's another good comparison? Maybe a little Weezery, kind of in there, like
That's a fun. That's
Weezery.
a fun way to say it. Weezery. I
We're
like
a little
that.
Weezery. Well, how would you describe your band? Oh, we're a little Weezery.
A wee bit Weezery. Yeah.
That's right. The band again is called Delivery. Get them delivered right now to your ears with a song called "The New Alphabet."
I'm going to commit murder.
It's funny, I had so much to say, and now I can't think of a darn thing.
And we've returned. Hey, Brian, who was that one more time, please?
Sure. That's the Weezery band Delivery from a brand new album called Force Majeure, which comes out the middle of next month. Don't worry, you can hear this song right now. This song is called "The New Alphabet." That was delivery.
If you guys are busy doing titles right now, I think Weezery should make the title list.
I think somebody, yes, Dr. Calhoun entered in a little Weezery.
Nice. If you're not doing that yet, frogpants.showbot.tv.
Yeah.
A little
Go
reminder.
vote for it, people.
Yeah.
Go vote.
Get in there. Big
Go
thanks.
vote. No joke.
Big thanks to BioCow and to Tally for making it possible in the YouTube stream for people to bang S those right straight to us. We appreciate it.
Heck yeah.
All right. The now lower down the alphabetical list, Ace Detect, a.k.a. Tom Merritt, going to be incoming here.
He lost one space.
Yeah.
Went down one whole space.
One
that poor
whole
Tom.
space. I didn't even give him... Well, I did tell him about it later that day, but...
Did you really? Oh, funny.
Yeah, one of those things.
We want
Way to
Tom.
rub it in.
Hey, look who it is. It's Tom Merritt, everybody. He is Ace Detect on my list, and it's now down 2 slots. Somebody else did a number. Can't help it. Can't change it. But we can have him here with us, and we love having him here. Tom Merritt, welcome back to the show. How are you?
Thank you. The important question is my kiss on your list?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
because your tech is on our
deck. On my Steam Deck. Doot, 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 doot.
Gotta say this very carefully. Your tech is on our list.
Was that
Lots of enunciation necessary.
Yes.
was that a Juice Newton joint? Who is that? Why
Oh,
can't
it's Hall & Oates.
Oh, Hall
Come
&
on,
Oates.
man.
Duh.
Yeah.
Both of them. Yeah.
I thought it was Juice. I don't know why I was thinking of
No,
Juice
she-
Newton.
She was your angel of the morning.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
I used to think I loved her, but whatever. That was a long time
She
ago.
was cute. She had a Bailey Quarters kind of thing going on.
Yeah. She was playing with the Queen of Hearts.
Mhm.
She was, and no one if it's really smart. Both of those
Joker's
songs,
the only
by the way,
fool.
both of those songs covers, by the way.
Oh, really?
Not originally by
Ah.
Juice Newton, yeah.
I knew
Queen-
Angel of the Morning, but Queen of Hearts is a
was
cover.
Dave Edmunds, yeah.
I knew
No
neither of
kidding.
those songs were covers. I
That's
had
a
no
good-
idea.
That's a good little bit.
Well, Brian's really good at knowing this and then telling us.
Turns
But,
out.
but her third hit, Love's Been a Little Bit Hard on Me, was a Juice Newton original.
Oh,
Hey,
And a way,
there
and
you
a way
go.
of getting that those two words, which I won't say together on their own, into the top 10.
the Juice Newton original. Fantastic.
That's right, the Juice Newton original.
Fresh squeezed.
Yes, freshly squeezed Newton. Nothing like it. All right. Hey, Tom Merritt. It's good to have you here, sir. And talking about tech, of course, because we like to do that with you on the weekly. I'm sure there's something brewing out there. Maybe even it's Korea related. I don't know if it is or isn't. I talked to my brother. I'll tell you something funny about this. So
I was going to say.
all this
yeah.
went down, right? There was like, martial law, and everyone's like, what's going on in South Korea? And so I sent my brother a text. It's like 4:30 in the morning. He's not up. He is there, though, and he's in some rural-ish area near his wife's family. And he finally answers the family text. He goes, what news? What is happening? I'm like,
That's great. That's,
Yeah,
apparently we're more worried about it here than they are there.
and as it turns out, as usual, we were actually, because over there they were like, it's just this guy. He's a bluster monkey, and he's, it all got shut down before it could do anything.
It took a little bit more effort than that to shut it down, but they shut it down.
Yeah.
That to your point. And I think it was like 10:30 at night when he issued the TV address.
Right.
So he clearly did it, in the evening when people were either asleep or still out at the pocha drinking soju. So he was hoping that he could just kind of sneak it in overnight. Whereas here it was happening in the morning, right? So we're all waking up going, the what happened?
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
Yeah. And I would like to say I commend the government and people of South Korea because they didn't stand for it. People showed up at the National Assembly to protest. The military, which was ordered to arrest people, just kind of slow walked it. They didn't disobey orders, but they were like, yeah, okay, we're gonna do this, I guess. And then the National Assembly, both parties, including the president's party, jumped in and got a quorum. They needed more than half of the 300 people. They got 190 people to vote unanimously. No, there will not be martial law. And so that president is kind of
he's Dunzo, right?
I can't think of a nice word for what he is, but he's done.
Yeah,
done. would
he's
be the
done.
nice word.
Dunzo is the
Yeah, it's so funny though because my brother, who is Korean but has been an American citizen since he was like 10 or whatever, we got naturalized. He still he does this thing that we always get accused of in America, and he did it last night, and that is that we always see it through our lens, kind of like Apple fans always see Android announcements through their eyes.
Yeah.
You know
sure.
exactly what I mean. And so he's like,
Yeah.
he goes, it is like Biden and Trump is same thing. He is this and that and the other, and he's like doing all this comparison. I'm like, Matt, I don't think there's. It's just a Korean. It happened in Korea. They've got their own reasons. This guy had his own reasons. I don't think we have to compare it to all these things. It was just an interesting
there
reminder.
are parallels. A lot of people compare President Yoon to President Trump, but they're very different. We would stray too far from what the purpose of my appearance here would be to talk about it. But
sure.
But yeah, I mean, largely he is the conservative party. He is of the conservative party there, and the opposition is the Liberal Party, and they dominate the parliament right now. Blah 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 blah. So you can draw your own parallels from there. So I kind of get it. I get why he would say that, but I doubt it would have gone down this way in the United States in many different aspects, many different ways. Right. What I found the most interesting is that Special Forces Unit 700 was deployed to the National Assembly as part of the martial law order, with apparently orders to arrest the Speaker of the House, and among the 5 members of BTS that are currently serving in the Korean military, one of them is part of Special Forces Unit 700.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, so Kim Tae-young, V, as he is known in BTS, possibly was deployed to the National Assembly. We don't know, but he's part of that unit. He is part of the anti-terrorism unit, so it's possibly wasn't involved in this. But if they were like all hands on deck, he might have been.
That's wild. Again, you got a K-pop star that's possibly in like this cool elite little force. That's awesome.
Yeah. He when you join, you can express your wishes. You don't always get them, but you can express your wishes of what unit you want to serve in, and he wanted to serve in Special Forces. So he's been doing that as part of his 18 months of military service.
Do you think he ever just goes into a dance move in the middle of training or anything? It's just like,
Well, he's been posting on Instagram going to dance practices when he has leave. So who knows? Maybe.
I love it. I also love how well versed you are in this information. I think that's freaking amazing.
All credit to Eileen Rivera. She's the one that keeps me up to date.
So we don't have to spend any much more time in Korea, but I am curious if you felt like it had any impact. I know it had an impact on stocks and stuff over there, but it had affect any, like, is Samsung reeling over this? Is there any kind of weird Hyundai problems? Like, did none of that have an effect in that way?
No, and I got a lot of similar questions yesterday during DTNS, and it doesn't feel like there's certainly no connection. There was a minor story about a company getting arrested, a company head getting arrested in Korea for including DDoS software at the request of a competitor, or in order to target a competitor. So that just seems like industrial espionage. Didn't have anything to do with the martial law. The stocks seem to have recovered for the most part. The one thing I know is this guy, David Kim, who does Korean Pizza Club, that I follow, is somebody who follows the cryptocurrency market, and cryptocurrency in Korea crashed during the martial law announcement, and he was like, "Yeah, I bought up as much as I could while it was down, because it wasn't down in the rest of the world." So there might have been a little buying the dip by some crypto folks in Korea, but that's kind of the only thing I know about.
Okay, so it's not like, oh, now phones are 40% higher, or we're can't. None of that. Okay,
all of that seems to have stabilized because it was so short. Because it didn't last, it seems like everything is like even back out.
All right. Well, I will lovingly look at my micro SD card from Samsung today and think, good job, guys. You avoided all the trouble.
Also, I sent you some kimchi that I got when I was in
I got
Korea.
it this morning. Kim says it's here. I haven't seen it yet, but there's she says there's kimchi from Tom. And I went, what? I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. I'm so excited.
Wow.
Yeah, I bought it at a convenience store
in Korea, though.
How convenient.
In Korea, yeah.
Okay. So
what
is it?
Korean kimchi from Korea?
Is it a
From
jar?
Korea.
Like, what does this look like? I guess she didn't.
It's
bring
a
it
vacuum pack.
Oh, cool, dude.
So when you go to the convenience store in Korea, for people who don't know, you can buy things and eat them there. Like, they have microwaves and boiled water and all this stuff. And so they sell these little packets of kimchi. They even sell little half cans of Spam if you just want to like add some kimchi to the ramen you're making at the convenience store. So that's what I got for it.
I am so excited. I'm going to get in. I'm breaking into that today. It feels like an MRE or something, you know?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, she texted me right before the show started and said, Tom sent you a some kimchi, and that's all she said so far. So I don't know what to make of it. I was like, really? How do you even do that in 2024? But apparently there's a way, and you found it. So
that's well, it's what you asked. You asked for that, or for me to bring back a K-pop star, which I was not able to do. So
No.
I got you the kimchi.
they were busy getting ready to help Parliament if there was something going down. So I get it.
Yes, exactly.
Anything else going on in the world of tech that we should mention today, or anything else you'd like to mention today?
Yeah, no, there is one other story I'd like to mention, because those of you who follow security news will get a kick out of this. The U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, or CISA, had a joint press call with a unnamed official from the FBI recommending that because of an ongoing intrusion into U.S. telecommunications, that Americans that are concerned about their communications possibly ending up in the hands of foreign enemies should use encrypted channels for their messaging.
Oh.
So let me repeat that. The FBI was on a call recommending please use encrypted communications to keep your communications from falling into the hands of our own law enforcement database that has been breached by foreign agents.
Yeah. Boy, that's a snake eating itself, isn't it, right there?
Well, because the FBI, if anybody doesn't know, has been on a campaign to have a backdoor for encryption. One of the arguments against a backdoor for encryption is that it could be eventually used by the bad folks. And what's happening here is that Kalea databases, which are meant to collect data for law enforcement when they have a court order, have been breached by a foreign agent. And therefore, they want you to use encrypted communications to keep your data from showing up in that database that has been breached by a foreign agent for now.
Wow. All right. Download Signal, I guess, is the answer, everybody. Get that going.
Yeah.
I've never used Signal.
No, in fact, the CISA was really interesting. The FBI guy was like, use responsibly implemented encryption, which kind of leaves wiggle room to still be like, we'd really like a backdoor still. Whereas the CISA guy was like, use Signal. Like, just, you want to use something like Signal if you want to be really safe.
And Signal really, I mean, it is considered by experts and whatever to still be like a secure, safe, encrypted method.
Oh yeah. No, Signal's good. Google Messages, if you're going Google to Google, is good. iMessage on Apple or Messages, Apple Messages is good. Where you are going to run into problems is if you're sending SMS between non-platform members. So if you're sending an SMS from an Apple phone to a Google phone, or from a Google phone to an Apple phone, or an Android phone, not even a Google phone, could be Samsung, those won't be encrypted. If it's RCS, it might be encrypted, but it's probably not. So you got to be careful if you're sending just general text messages. But if you're using, Apple to Apple, Google to Google, any kind of Signal or WhatsApp is also end-to-end encrypted. Those are fine.
Okay, so I have here's my thing for Apple users. This is what you need to do. Remember, this will make it easy for you. If it's green, it might be seen. If it's blue,
I like it. Yeah.
If it's blue, send it through. See?
Hey, that's good. Yeah.
Wow. You like that?
Yeah. Green, it might be seen. If it's blue, send it through.
Feel free, everybody, to use that. Do it whatever you want with it. All right? Apply it to your own lives. Tom, fantastic. As always, talking to you. You got any other projects people should be aware of?
I sure do, but I'm not ready to talk about all of them yet. Patrons hear about it first, but we got some new stuff coming in January. If you've been following the DTNS experiments, you probably have an inkling of some of the things we might be planning, but I bet you can't guess all of them. So stay tuned. December 12th, we are going to do one more experiment. We've been doing these experiments where we do Good Day Internet and DTNS separately, and we do them in different ways to try out different ideas. And on December 12th, we'll be doing that again, and we'll be doing a DTNS with Jason Howell.
Lovely.
So, keep an ear out for all that stuff and more news to come.
Nice. That's exciting. Also, CES looming.
Oh yeah.
On the horizon.
No, a lot of the new stuff is going to launch for CES.
Gotcha.
And it'll be me, Rob Dunwood, and Amos in Las Vegas. Sarah, Roger, and Joe manning the home desk, and we'll be doing doing some good coverage. I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. This is going to be great. Always fun to watch. Check it out, Daily Tech News Show. I'll be on there today, and we're going to have a great time. Tom Merritt, he is Ace Detect on all the things. 2 slots down on my Discord. We'll see you next time. Bye now.
Thanks, guys.
Like to just really hammer that home,
Really lay it in, yeah. Nice.
Why not?
Nice.
All right. I feel better about Korea already. Let's do this.
Good. And Samsung.
Yeah, and Samsung. Randy will be joining us shortly. Nicole's out today. She's got some stuff, but Randy will be here, and though we'll miss her, we will think of her as we play each other's things. Here is an intro that we use because I'm slow finding it for this.
Well, what do you recommend?
Yes, that song and sound means it's time for Recommentals, things we've seen on streaming services that we think you at home might enjoy as well. Joining us is Randy Jordan. Hi, Randy.
Good morning stream. Hi, Scott. Hi, Brian.
Hi.
Good morning, Randy.
Goodbye, Tom. I am not eating kimchi today, and now I want to.
Oh, you always want to. But you got options. In the OC, good options. Yeah, you could totally arrange it. Yeah.
Every other restaurant's Korean here, so yes.
You really wanted to, you could make it happen.
Yeah, you could get out there and do what you got to do. Look, I hope you had a great time in Texas. How's the family? Everything good?
Everything's good. Yeah, I messed around with critters, some good, some bad, and that's just how it is down there. My mom had some red ants invading the yard, and I murdered them by the thousands.
Jeez.
My mom had some really cool ducks that came up and ate twice a day, and
then you murdered those by the thousands. And...
No. We love the ducks, although the ducks don't love each other, man. They really fight. Like, ducks are mean. They're cruel. It's terrible.
Yeah, ducks, we always talk about how geese are dicks, but ducks are right up there. They're not very nice either, especially to each other. They're fine with people. They think you've got a loaf of Wonder Bread that you shouldn't feed them, by the way, but that's what they think, and they're excited to see you. But if they see other ducks, all bets are off. The whole ducking place goes up in flames.
Here's the great news. Entire Thanksgiving vacation in South Texas, no political debates whatsoever. There was no...
How did you manage that? That's insane.
I don't know. I think we fled, basically, like left the room when suddenly someone wanted to talk about the price of gas or something. We're just like, out. I've got a book to read over here.
Yeah.
Hey, how's that football game going?
Yeah.
Let's watch that for a little while.
Oh,
I watched so much football.
I'll bet you did. I watched the Texans versus A&M game.
The Longhorns, yes.
And I've never done that.
That's an interesting.
Or did I say Texans? I didn't
mean. Match.
Yeah, I didn't mean Texans. Sorry. I was thinking. I was screwing it up because it's Texas versus. Yeah. But I watched that game, and let me tell you something about that. I've never watched them play each other before. I don't know why. This has never been a game I've seen. I know there's a big rivalry there. It's one of the nation's biggest. But when I see it, I didn't realize how palpable that would feel through a TV screen. Like, you can feel these teams wanting to just destroy one another and the fans and everything. It's crazy, that stuff.
I would encourage you to temper those expectations. Like I also watched the Ohio State-Michigan game, and it was much more fierce.
Oh my gosh!
And
did you watch? Did they show the end on TV where
the live broadcast? Right? And of course, the game was called by Gus Johnson, the worst person to talk about real events. He's great to talk about a football play, but when something went down after the game, you could hear a person come into the broadcast booth and physically restrain Gus Johnson. He was removed from his microphone at some point. Wow. It was so ridiculous.
When the players are out there beating the tar out of each other, do they have to come and hose them down? How did they?
The Ohio State police used pepper spray on football players.
Oh my gosh, dude! I missed all of that.
There's all these shots of football players standing on their own sidelines crying because they got pepper sprayed in the face.
Wow.
It was amazing. This is like, I want to do a sports show just to enjoy the craziness of stuff like this.
Yeah.
Wow. And then the next night we stayed up all night watching a Georgia Tech game that never ended. Yeah. It was a 6-hour-long football game.
The Georgia versus Georgia Tech. Yeah.
It's just it was amazing. So yeah, we had a lot of distractions from the political talk, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed a weekend of way too many BYU fans in town because of their game, and it was freaking packed. I don't even know how the game went. I don't know who won. Probably nobody, or probably the other team. Probably not us. But the point is, all right, football, we get you. Calm down. Quit beating each other up. Everybody chill. Anyway, let's get to these recommendals. Brian, you've got a clip here, and I don't want to play it till I know more about it. So what do you got?
Well, I'm going to tell you that mine is a mini series, as opposed to like a continuing series. So you get 6 and done on this one. And it is the continuing story of a character that was introduced in, maybe the 50s.
Oh my gosh.
I think I have to look that up, but yeah, it's great. And you're going to hear some great banter from somebody whose voice you'll recognize, interrogating someone that he just gives 0 F's about.
All right, here we go.
One day when I was a child, the darkness was so thick that I rode with my boat right over to La Cascade. I miss that boat. I would row in the river every day. You understand what I'm saying?
Not really, but then I was too busy wondering what day you might finish talking to listen.
I speak in metaphor.
So all that yap about shadows and waterfalls is really about your unhappy childhood.
Wow. You Americans understand nothing. A French woman in a French bed and you learn all you need to know.
I don't think you and I are having the same conversation.
Of course we are.
Then you're either really dumb or you're trying to provoke me, which also makes you really dumb. Or you just what everybody says you are.
Handsome. Devil may care.
Whatever you are and whatever you want me to think you are, you're not drunk, you're not bored, and you're not at all interesting. So you can knock off the bug act and listen to what I have to say. I promise to be quick so you can get back to your sulking and I can get back to the States where people don't butter their fucking fruit.
You're just an American private copper, which in France gives you about the same legal authority as a rat catcher.
In my case, the two jobs are one and the same.
Am I hearing that's Clive Owen?
That is 100% Clive Owen as Sam Spade from the Maltese Falcon. This actually is a continuation of the character. This is called Monsieur Spade. Started out on AMC and AMC Plus. You can still see it on AMC Plus, but it's also on Netflix, so you don't have to subscribe to AMC Plus if you already have Netflix. This is a 6 episode miniseries that takes place several years after the Maltese Falcon. By the way, it came out in 1941. I had to look it up how old Maltese Falcon was. Boy, what does that make it? Like 80 years after the release of a movie, a sequel.
Wow.
Yeah, a TV sequel. Man, here's a requirement I want to give you if you're going to watch this show. Number 1, be prepared. It takes place in France in a really cool, beautiful city in France called Bozul, which is, if nothing else, gives the most cinematic and beautiful backdrop to this whole series. Absolutely gorgeous.
What am I preparing for, though?
You are preparing for a lot of subtitles.
Okay, because French, right? A lot of France.
A lot of French.
Yeah.
And you're preparing for a show that takes 2 episodes really to get going. So first episode really does a lot to set up the characters, especially, Sam Spade and his new life in France, living in his retirement in the south of France. Second episode kind of sets things up, continues this mystery that does get, shown in episode 1. Beginning of episode 3 is like, okay, now I get this. I'm fully invested, and you kind of follow it from there. So make it to episode 3 before you decide to if you're in or out, if you watch this. But be prepared that it is a lot of subtitles. So worth it. This thing, Tina and I were kind of iffy going into episode 3, and then we were freaking hooked for the last 4 episodes, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's like, all right, this was great. And it really ends in a great, really, really well.
So Maltese Falcon, based on a book, is this also based on?
It's also Dashiell Hammett. This is not based on a Dashiell Hammett novel.
Oh, okay. Just the character, and they
just the character. I was curious about that too. Like if is this also based on something? It's not. But but that's all right.
Yeah, totally fine. All good.
It's well written, and it's actually written by Scott Frank, who was involved. He wrote Out of Sight with George Clooney and Logan.
He's
the aforementioned Logan. We talked about that earlier.
Good writer. Minority Report. Don't tell Dunaway, but he wrote Minority Report.
Oh, did he really? Okay.
Well,
and then Tom
but...
Fontana, who worked on Homicide: Life on the Street and Oz. So good pedigree as far as the creators of the show. Of course, Clive Owen is fantastic. The show is also filled with a bunch of French people that I don't recognize from anything else. And then kind of a surprise appearance later on in the season, again, or in the series, that I won't reveal because it's great. If you look at the IMDb or if you look at the Wikipedia page, you'll see it, but maybe save yourself from that reveal.
Okay.
The mystery is great, and it's one that you get enough clues that you could be like, oh, okay, I think I kind of got some stuff figured out. But it is, a lot of it is kind of, you're aware of things before even Sam Spade is, so you can kind of solve and figure out what's going on without him figuring out what's going on, and before he figures out what's going on.
Interesting.
So I like that. I kind of like that method of storytelling for mysteries sometimes, where you're aware of it as you see the detective discover it, and it kind of adds for a new thing.
It's also, I think it adheres to the old school, this kind of detective story from that era. Like that's a way of telling that story that we don't see as often as we used to.
No, this still feels very noir, even though it is in a very beautiful, well lit French countryside.
Yeah,
it kind of takes all that the noir stuff that you associate with noir, which is dark. A lot of nighttime, New York or some Gothic city, concrete jungle kind of thing, but it still manages to capture all that stuff. I did forget to mention Dean Winters is another person you'll recognize. Him as Mayhem from the from the insurance commercials.
I know him. I know him as
Nine-Nine.
the worst boyfriend ever from 30 Rock.
Oh yeah, that's another.
I know him as from Oz. He was on the prison show Oz. Is where I always think.
Oh,
of him.
was he really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he fits there too.
He may have been a girlfriend there as well, if you know what I'm saying.
He could have been.
Is he playing his 30 Rock Brooklyn Nine-Nine commercial character?
Kind of. He's actually a father. He's actually a priest, but
oh my god,
he's the worst priest.
I really like him though. It's hard for me not to like him. He's great.
Yes. Once he appeared on screen, Tina, like, oh my God, that's Mayhem. Father Mayhem.
Father Mayhem.
I would watch a show called Father Mayhem. Hell yeah.
Well, you could kind of watch that as part of Monsieur Spade. Again, it's 6 episodes. It's on Netflix. It's on AMC Plus, and it is worth your time. Very, very good.
All right. This was definitely on my list, so it's good to hear it's good. Also, I know I didn't realize this, but that guy you mentioned, Scott Frank, the screenwriter or showrunner.
Yeah.
It's also show ran and created The Queen's Gambit, which was crazy good.
Oh,
so yeah.
And Godless, wrote and directed Godless.
Oh shit. Well then I'm all in, because this guy makes nothing but great things.
Holy cow. Yeah, if that, and I didn't know that either. So there you go. There's like,
I love Godless.
Talk
so
about
much.
a great pedigree for this dude.
Yeah, it's so good. All right, excellent.
One last question.
Yes.
This is the time of year when I'm evaluating all recommendations for over the holiday break watching with my soon-to-be 15-year-old. How adult is it?
Some nudity, and a little bit of blood. Yeah, more discovering bodies than actually witnessing
the violent act that caused it. Okay.
Witnessing the act itself. Yes.
Okay.
So
there will be.
Be aware of that.
Think of the film. There will be blood, but think of it as a little bit of blood. There will be a little bit of blood.
Yeah. And the nudity, for those who care, is both Clive Owen's butt and a few different boobs.
A few.
I like we haven't seen Clive Owen's butt before.
Are there only three boobs or?
Marge, guess how many boobs I saw today? 15.
I love that one.
Yeah.
All right, great. This looks awesome. I'm going to watch this. It looks good.
You're going to like it. Be ready. I mean, I know you sometimes shy away from subtitles, but resist the urge to let that be your hurdle on this one. You are going to love it.
I only don't like the ones where that's all it is. I don't mind where it's like contextually correct about where they're at and stuff.
It's contextually correct, and I would say it's only about half the dialogue, because a lot of the French people also speak English in this show.
Sure. Yeah, I'm down with that. Okay, cool. There you go. Randy, let's fly over to your zone here. What do you got for us?
That's a good. Wow, what a perfect little segue.
Was it?
line.
I didn't even mean to.
Yeah, because we are on our last episode of Film Sack, we talked about travel movies, and we mentioned this one, and it got into my head. And it's that time of our lives, like I told you a few weeks ago, when I am only going to watch things that make me happy. I am not going to recommend anything that's depressing. So this came up on Film Sack. I watched it again. It was so fun. The clip you're about to hear is some high school graduates who went on a trip immediately after graduating from high school.
All right, here we go. Whoops.
Well, we've got a couple hours to kill. What's there to see in this town?
Hello, the Monument de Poissonnière. It's a monument to all the local fishermen that were lost at sea. Fromer says it's supposed to be quite moving.
What the hell is wrong with you, C-3PO? We're here to see Europe, not some crappy statue. I'm taking a nap. Wake me up when the train gets here.
Says here this town has a famous nude beach.
All right, look, we can't all just lie around all day. We've got to get out there and experience the culture firsthand. Let's go exploring.
Wow. I realized when you put this in our Discord that this is one I'd never seen, so now I get to hear your sales pitch.
Okay, it's real simple. It's real simple. It's a fun comedy that is almost at the end of its time. This genre, which is sex comedy, kind of ran out at some point. Basically people had done everything there was to do, and there was hardly any new takes on it, and it has to, like sex comedies kind of have to star somebody that blah blah blah. This is EuroTrip. EuroTrip came out in 2005, 2004, 2005.
Like that, yeah.
And it is one of the best sex comedies ever made. There's really not much sex in it. Like, sex comedies are all about alluding to such things, like people who desperately want to hook up but keep failing. And it's got some of the most memorable comedic moments in all of film. I'm talking about the most memorable original song ever put in a movie, period.
Can't argue with that. Yeah.
It's got Fred Armisen in a drop-in cameo that you will never forget, and that people still quote to me at work all the time, right? You get on an elevator with your work buddy, you put your hand on their shoulder, and then you say, "Scusi." It is it is, when you're looking at the cast list there, you're getting spoiled for probably one of the most surprising appearances ever. We didn't know going into this movie when it came out that really early on the lead singer for the song was going to be who he is, and so on and so on. It's hilarious. It's got the best buddy that I can think of in a movie ever. I don't know what happened to that guy. How did that guy not end up being in a bunch of movies like this? But it's EuroTrip. It's really fun. There's Lucy Lawless you just put up on the screen.
Yeah.
Absolutely unique in its little place in film.
So I really like Michelle Trachtenberg. I didn't know Kristen Kreuk was in this. I haven't seen her since the Superman show, Smallville.
Yeah, she's in the first 10 minutes. Go on.
Okay, so that's it with her. She's just sort of there. Okay, that's fine. I used to have a crazy crush on her. I used to think she was the end all be all on TV.
She is very funny in this movie.
How's the so now let's pretend I had a 15-year-old. How's the content warning?
This is R-rated, and like I say, there is nudity. There's a lot of full frontal nudity, but it's not what you want. I'll just put it that way. This is a comedy. It's very raunchy, but it's also there's this heart at the center of it, which is like I say, the main characters and their little quest that they're on. And it's
don't you think these raunchy teen sex comedy things, especially travel ones, they need that aspect to be good. They have to have some heart, or else I kind of can't do it. Like, it's not that it's not that it's debauchery. It's just I need the human part of it. Even stuff like American Pie had heart in there in portions.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
very much.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's important to these. I think it's a required ingredient, or else why are you even making this movie? What's the point?
There's a handful of these movies in our history where when you're watching it for the first time, you're like, oh, this is legendary.
Yeah.
And this is definitely one of them. American Pie was like that too. As you were watching it the first time, you were having thoughts of somehow this is transcending its little genre, and these actors are punching above their weight class and so on.
Yeah, I like that.
This is that. It's absolutely that. I'm often trying to get you to watch a movie like Saved, which has a very, very narrow sphere of influence. This is very broad. EuroTrip, it applies to everybody, and like I say, it's super quotable and memorable. So you want to watch it just so you can understand when someone impersonates Fred Armisen in front of you.
Nice. I think I'll watch it. I'll watch this with Kim. You know. She's older.
There you go.
She's older than 15. She can handle it. She'll be all right.
She can handle a few dicks on screen. Yes. let me rephrase that.
Yeah. Just spell it deck. A few decks.
Handle is not the
yeah,
word.
maybe handle's not the right word. Well, that's great. Looks awesome. Here, and that's Netflix.
It is on Netflix, yes, for the rest of the month. Netflix is losing a lot at the end of this month, so this is the time to watch.
There must be some
links. I was like finding so many. It's like leaving soon. I was like, oh man.
They must be some contract running out in 2025, January. I feel like every January we run into this, and it's kind of a bummer when it hits FilmSack. But we still have a month for Jaws 2, but just get on it.
Just be aware. You got to go watch it.
Yeah, get in there. All right, here's mine. This is a documentary. It is also on Netflix. Boy, all Netflix 2 weeks in a row, I think.
Yeah, I know. It is, yeah.
Weird. In this case, this is a documentary in 3 parts. Wait, was it 4? No, it was 3, I think. It is the kind of documentary I normally avoid, and I'll explain why in a minute. But here's the clip and a familiar voice. Eventually.
That guy right there, that's Wyatt Earp. The toughest son of a bitch in the West. And right now, it was just the beginning.
Ooh, leaving you hanging there. That is a thing called a documentary called Wyatt Earp and the Cowboy War. It is a 3-parter. As you could tell, that was narrated by Ed Harris, who's great at everything. I could listen to him read, a diary if you wanted, whatever. I don't care.
How did a man from Englewood, New Jersey end up sounding so Southwestern?
I know, right? He's got some crazy, I think he has a love for that, and it just comes out.
Maybe
he's perfect.
Yeah, I do love him. He is let's see if I can find the actual link. There it is. This is a documentary about, as you may have guessed, Wyatt Earp and his family and his time in Tombstone and all that. And if you've seen Tombstone, one of the greatest westerns of all time, you assume going into Tombstone there's a lot of apocryphal stuff being told. That's the fun of the Old West. You can take real stories and then augment them to be more legendary. They did it back then. We do it now. That's the Old West. That's our mythology. It's what we mess around with. Turns out the real story of how that all went down, what came after, who was involved, is a lot different than the movie Tombstone or any other retelling that you've seen dramatically of that thing. So much stuff is different. There are a few things that are very similar. For example, Ike Hanlon, who is your chief bad guy in most of the story, is portrayed by Stephen Lang in the movie, in that movie, and he's just always drunk and kind of not in charge and sort of like third down on the rungs, in terms of who's like the big shot in the cowboy gang. In the real history of it, he is the kingpin. He is like the mob boss. He's everything. And the guy played by Powers Booth, I forgot his name, Curly Bill in Tombstone, who is portrayed as the leader, is not the leader. Like, he's not even close to the leader. In fact, he plays a role very late in the story of this thing. And the whole thing turns out to be much more of a courtroom drama than it was anything else. They don't get into that at all in Tombstone.
Oh, wow.
How he meets this girl he ends up with for the rest of his life is nothing like they tell you in Tombstone. There are a few characters that just straight up don't exist. How Virgil and I forgot the name of the other Earp kid. Virgil and
Earp kid.
Billy Earp. What was his name? Hold on, it's all here. Which will actually bring me in a second to my problem with the thing and why I was able to overcome it. Morgan Earp. Thank you. Played so good by what's his name. Anyway,
rest in peace.
Rest in peace. They're in this. They're in the story, but there's a lot more to it. He has a brother named Newton Earp, who's like a whole other piece of this. He has sisters no one talks about in these movies. Like there's just a lot more layers, like real life often is when it compares to movies about all these people. So in that way, this thing is extremely interesting. And the way that they do it is a lot like what you heard. Lots of sound work, lots of Ed Harris clearly having fun narrating, and then lots of reenactments. And I hate them. I hate reenactments so much. I'm a giant fan of like, just give me the facts, give me some Ken Burns, don't give me a bunch of reenactments. But how I got over it here was they didn't cheap on it. They didn't go cheap. They went full on. The fighting scenes, the reenactments, the dialogue between characters, it's Hollywood quality, good movie quality stuff. If they hadn't gone that far with it, I probably would have not liked it as much because I normally hate that. It always feels like Temu level,
Oh gosh, yeah.
Knockoff.
But they went fully in. They
went all in. They spent money.
Cool.
I'll put it that way. The guy they hired to be Wyatt Earp, this Tim Fellingham, is he's basically he's like he's like Winter Soldier and Raylan Givens had a child.
Kind of is, yeah. No kidding.
And he really swaggers around just like both of them. You can see it here. That looks like Raylan Givens in this shot almost. Like
It totally does, yeah.
He's very good in it though. Very, very good.
And who played Ike?
Ike was played by this guy who's nothing like Stephen Lang. Let's see if I can find him. Ike. Here he is. Jack Gordon's his name. This photo's not a good example of him at all.
He's a British actor.
Yeah. He's very good in it as well. Everybody in it is good, and that really helps that part of it because normally, again, I hate reenactments. This is not one that shies away from just doing a good job of it. Here he is. Here is Ike in the top image. It's just goes places I didn't know. I love this time in history. I didn't realize what a big dick the current president of the time was. Clark Arthur. No. Shit. Forgot his name.
Chester
A. Arthur. That's it. And I'd forgotten that he was a vice president, and because the president, the very popular one, was assassinated, forgot his name too, he took over and then was considered one of the worst presidents we ever had. And they get into why. The dude was corrupt as hell.
James Garfield.
Yeah, James Garfield. Everyone liked him, but he got shot. Everyone but one guy liked him a lot. Anyway, they go real deep into all of it, and if you love that era and you're into like just wanting to get the details and stuff, this is a very good one of those. The sound work's incredible. Like I say, the filming, the reenactment's really nice. I still think overall, though, I would prefer, call it boring if you want, but I prefer the Ken Burns vibe. I would have preferred that, but we didn't get that. Instead, I got a thing that's pretty entertaining and fun and still gets all these points across and teaches you some stuff about things you didn't know and the timelines and who died and why and all that. There is a Johnny Ringo and there is a Doc Holliday, but they're not involved in the way you think it is from Tombstone. They just, that whole thing with Doc Holliday, you're a daisy if you do, and, meeting him by the old tree and fighting Johnny Ringo and all that, that is very apocryphal in Tombstone. Wonderful in Tombstone, don't get me wrong. I'm telling you, that's the right thing to do in Westerns. It is mythology, and we should treat it as such. Have fun with it. But it's also fun to learn about the real stuff. So I went down some pretty deep rabbit holes. You might as well check it out. It is Wyatt Earp and the Cowboy War, currently streaming on Netflix. It is a Netflix original. Go check it out.
Very cool.
All three of these will be up on quicktms.li. Probably already there, if I had to guess.
Already are. Yep.
Nice.
And just click any of them to go right to Netflix and watch them. All three of them very good, very different directions for all three, and all three
something for everybody.
Fantastic recommendations.
Yeah, something for everybody. So go check it out. Randy, this week, Film Sack, Jaws 2. How do you feel?
Jaws 2. Yeah, I feel great. It's great. You just reminded me, and I've said this before. I want you to read a book called Assassination Vacation. You will love it. That's it.
Okay, that's fair.
That follow the same family, the Clark Griswold and family.
Exactly. Yeah. Perfect.
Where they go to the Ford Theater or something. Yeah.
Sure.
Good.
It's a Sarah Vowell book, and she travels around
Love Sarah
to
Vowell.
the last spots where 3 presidents were shot.
Yeah.
And she connects them, and it's really, really fascinating. And Garfield's assassin, Charles Guiteau, is a major character in this book. And
Nice.
I think you would really appreciate it. It's very fun.
I love her. I wish she would do more. I know she does a lot of history stuff, American history stuff. I'd love more documentary style from her, because her voice is also great. She's so
yes.
great. Well, there you have it. Real quick to somebody said something in the chat. Where'd it go? I lost it. Yep, can't find it. Well, that's fantastic. Anyway, it was really great, and I was going to talk about it. Randy,
we'll see how Jaws 2 goes. I don't have high hopes.
I
don't have high hopes.
My hopes are pretty low. Maybe it'll surprise me. I don't know what to expect. But
no, there's a shark eats people. If you go in expecting that, then you will not be disappointed.
Oh shit! Well, then I'm all in. Let's go. Sharks eating people.
Exactly, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, sharks eating people.
Who would have thought with Jaws 2?
I'm just guessing. I've never seen it myself, but I'm going to guess. I really, really assume that what I'm going to get is a shark eating people.
I feel like it's safe.
You know,
I feel like it's safe.
When you make assumptions, then you go in the ocean.
That's right.
You make an ass out of me and sharks.
Bye, Randy. All right, there's that. We did it. Hey guys, guess what else is on the menu? Some leftover things we got to do real fast. We got a quick phone call, or no, a note here to remind people to phone call us. Here's the number. Write it down. Put it in your phone. 801-471-0462. Why? Because we're doing Call Now tomorrow. Wendy is in Chicago doing some big wig psychologist business. Don't know what it is.
Hoity-toity thing.
Very hoity and toity is my understanding. So if you want to be a part of that, we want to hear your calls ahead of time, so it's not the same. It's not the STP, the same 10 people we always get in chat.
Right.
So send in your calls early. We'll play them. Make some kind of reference at the top of your call that this is for Call Now. That way I separate you from the pack.
And make sure it says TMS. I mean, it helps to say TMS and Call Now. Both of those things help get it to the right.
Yeah, and we'll make sure you get played. So we're excited about that. Please get those in.
Call now. We'll answer tomorrow.
Yeah, call now for an answer later, is how I say it.
Call now.
Anyway, that is tomorrow, 801-471-0462. Also, we have a TMS Friday coming up for patrons this week. You can watch live or catch it post-show. And if you're a patron, you get these every Friday or most Fridays. We have play dates that break them up, but it's most, 3 weeks out of a month Fridays.
Yeah.
And sign up now, and you'll be able to get it this Friday, including all the previous episodes. It's a whole episode that no one else gets but you.
And live trivia with Scott, where you can hear him constantly saying, "Oh shit!
Oh shit!"
He's trying to remember stuff. Yeah,
that's right. Has anyone figured that out yet? Let us know. We want all the oh shits.
That's right, all the oceans.
Brian, I think that's going to do it for us. Everything else is found at frogpants.com/TMS, except for the song you're about to play, and then it will be found there. So tell us.
And
what
it'll
it
be
is.
found there. Yeah, this is comes from an anonymous submitter. Coverville. Today marks the 20th anniversary of an event I think about every year. I had traveled home with my then girlfriend, ex-girlfriend for the last 19 years, to meet her friends and family, and per Thanksgiving tradition, friends go out and hit the hometown bars to catch up. We joined a group of her friends at karaoke event, and one of her friends went up to sing. As the intro music played, I audibly groaned, anticipating yet another amateur that thinks the audience want to hear them butcher Somebody to Love.
Oh, wow.
Was I ever wrong? It was a soul-crushingly beautiful rendition that captured the beauty, passion, pain, and heartbreak of the song, so much so that it haunts me every year at this time, sung by a stranger that I have not seen or talked to since that night. I pose it to you to play the most beautiful cover of that song that you have. Also, you can play this anytime. There's never a wrong time for Queen. Signed, Anonymous.
Wow. We don't get those very often when there's no name.
No, I love that email. I had to play this. Boy, there are two versions that stick out to me that are that style, hauntingly beautiful and unexpected, and both of them are celebrities. I've played the other one before. That one is by Brittany Murphy, recorded for one of the Happy Feet movies, and it's even more hauntingly beautiful with her passing because it sounds so longing and melancholy. And
That
she
I was
just
like,
has
that
such a
Brittany
beautiful
Murphy? I
voice.
wasn't sure who you meant, but
That
wow.
Brittany Murphy.
Yeah.
The other one that we're going to play right now is another actress that you know and love, and kind of might find unexpected that she would cover Queen's "Somebody to Love." Boy, when you think about it, you've got these two versions by actresses, and then you've got Jim Carrey's version of the song by the same title by Jefferson Airplane in Cable Guy. Crazy.
Wow.
Celebrities just love covering songs named "Somebody to Love." Anyway, this version comes from Ella Enchanted from 2007 and is sung by the star Anne Hathaway, and you won't believe what a beautiful voice beautiful singing voice she has. Here is Anne Hathaway and "Somebody to Love."
Those pants are made for frogging, if you know what I mean. I actually don't. Frogpants.com.
Grab it by the I don't remember what that was